048-5853 or 0915-570-8347. And we are live on YouTube. You can please subscribe to our YouTube channel on High Voltage News. Like, share, and leave a comment. So this morning we'll be taking a look at the top stories in today's papers. And on the Daily Trust newspaper, Northern leaders unite against challenges. Northern leaders unite against challenges. So the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, and Zamfara State Governor, Dauda Lawal, have joined other Northern leaders at the Second African Mineral Strategy Group, a high-level roundtable in New York. So the meeting held on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly, and it focused on how the region can rise above insecurity, poverty, and underdevelopment. So the leaders stressed that the North must stand together, speak with one voice, and pursue policies that will restore peace and growth. So they also used the opportunity to converse for international partnerships that can support the region's economic revival. All right, next we see Arise TV presenter killed in Abuja robbery. Arise TV presenter killed in Abuja robbery. So yesterday we heard a very shocking story of the Arise TV presenter, the 29-year-old Crystal, that was killed in a armed robbery attack yesterday in a residence in Abuja. So this thing, it has raised so many debates, like on insecurity and all that, and people have been asking, is this just an armed robbery case, or is there more to this? Is there more to this killing and all that? So it's a very sad story. There's a lady with a very promising future, and it's sad that we lost her, and we pray that our soul will rest in peace. All right, moving on. Jonathan's tenure, a disaster. Presidency. So the presidency has launched a fresh attack on former President Goodluck Jonathan, describing his administration as a disaster. The criticism comes as talk grows over Jonathan's possible interest in the 2027 presidential election. So the government officials, they argued that Jonathan's era was marked by large-scale corruption, rising insecurity from Boko Haram, and economic mismanagement that plunged the country into crisis. So the presidency insists that such records makes him unsuitable for another shot at power. Meanwhile, with all this that the presidency mentioned, this is what we are seeing currently. We are seeing the level of insecurity we are seeing in the country, the level of hardship that we are seeing, the corruption rates going on amongst our politicians. And we are asking as well, the current party that is sitting, are they suitable to run for another presidency? All right, next we see court halts action as Dangote Pengasa meeting drags. Court halts action as Dangote and Pengasa meeting drags. So a federal high court has stopped the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, that's the Pengasan, from disrupting the crude oil supply to the Dangote refinery. So the ruling comes as negotiations between the union and the Dangote management drag on without any breakthrough. This is something that I don't know how some groups just wake up one day and decide that they are going on strike without thinking of the effect it has on the citizens. Because you think that you have the power to do so, then you just go on strike, and then what happens to the ordinary Nigerian out there, the one who depends on the fuel distribution? Because why can't they work together and ensure that things are working properly in the country? First it was Nupeng, now Pengasan. NLC is trying to agitate and force them, push them, keep pushing them into the strike action. Like, is this supposed to be happening? It's causing a lot of hardship in the country, and when this fuel increases and all that, it's still the the ordinary Nigerian that is affected. So those in power should, before they take actions, they should think of the citizen out there, the one who depends on the fuel and all that. All right, next we see that I think that's what we have on that newspaper. Moving on to the Nation newspaper, we see 2027, Jonathan, no match for Tinubu. Still from the presidency, attacking former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. So they said that Jonathan is no match for Tinubu. Let's allow the citizens to decide that. All right, Nigeria at 65. Tinubu is a gift in time. Nigeria at 65. Tinubu is a gift in time. So as Nigeria marks 65 years of independence, tributes have poured in for President Bola Tinubu, and supporters describe him as a leader who had changed the game despite the cynicism and reset the economy in the face of hardship. And they claimed also that the presidency has altered the balance of power at a critical moment. Okay. So while the government circles celebrate these achievements, many Nigerians continue to grapple with high cost of living and are yet to feel the benefits directly. So we keep hearing that this economy is stable, but we have not seen the impact on our daily lives. All right, next, don't cut supply to Dangote Refinery. Court orders Pengassan. Don't cut supply to Dangote Refinery. Court orders Pengassan. And next on it, we see Tinubu governors and APC chiefs in Imo for Uzodinma's book. So President Bola Tinubu, governors and top APC leaders converged there in Imo State for the launch of Governor Hope Uzodinma's new book. So the event, we all know, is a show of political force underscoring the APC's unity and determination ahead of 2027. All right, next, UK diplomat faults genocide reports on Nigerian Christians. UK diplomat faults genocide reports on Nigerian Christians. Meanwhile, the government says that the claims are false, that there's no genocide against the Christians, but though there's been attack on both Christians and Muslims, so they claim that it's not just the Christians that are being attacked, that the forces are the claims are false. That's what they say. All right, so moving on to the Punch newspaper. NLC mobilizes workers for strike against refinery. NLC mobilizes workers for strike against refinery. That's in Nigeria Labour Congress. So they've begun mobilizing its affiliates for a nationwide strike against the Dangote refinery. So this follows a face-off between the refinery and the Pengassan. So the union has already shut down the offices of NNPC, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, and the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. So the labor leaders say they are ready to escalate the action if the government does not intervene. Meanwhile, they've been having meetings since yesterday. They've been having meetings, and although courts has altered the disruption of the petrol distribution to Dangote refinery, we've still not gotten any positive whether they are going to call the strike off very soon. We've not gotten that report yet. So this strike threat and all that is raising concerns about fuel supply and economic stability. So given that the central role of the Dangote refinery in Nigeria's energy sector. Next, we see NNPC. Dangote refinery sign fresh 2-year crude deal. NNPC, Dangote refinery sign fresh 2-year crude deal. And Nigeria at 65, federal government cancels Independence Day parade. Federal government cancels Independence Day parade. There's no given reason for the cancellation, but then other activity still goes on. So 2027, woeful record will Aunt Jonathan says presidency. Woeful record will haunt Jonathan, says presidency. So this attack on former President Goodluck Jonathan, it's, I don't know what it's showing. Like, are they afraid that when he takes up the position to run for the presidency, is he going to be the people's interests or not? Because he looks like a strong force. Because for you to be attacking the opposition, it means that this person, when he likely comes out, is going to be a really, really strong opposition against the ruling party. But let's watch and see what's going to happen. Is Jonathan planning to take the position? Just like Jerry Garner said, he has not spoken for himself yet. People are just coming out to speak. So we don't know his stand, whether he's going to come out for the 2027 election or not. But till then, we are looking to see what happens. All right, next we see court stops bank from releasing Osun local government allocations. Court stops bank from releasing Osun local government allocations. So the Federal High Court has restrained a commercial bank from releasing funds meant for local governments in Osun State. The order follows a legal dispute over the control and management of local government finances in the states. The ruling effectively freezes allocation until the case is resolved. Next, we see Lagos guard faces trial for kidnapping employer's son. Lagos guard faces trial for kidnapping employer's son. So the private security guard in Lagos has been arraigned for allegedly kidnapping the son of his employer. The suspect, who was trusted to protect the family, is accused of betraying that trust by conniving with others to carry out the abduction. So the case has been adjourned, but prosecutors are pushing for a full trial. So there are so many security risks in the country. Even people in your household, people living with you, you don't even know who is who anymore. So we just have to be careful with what we do, with the people that we employ and put in our homes. All right, next, tax reforms exempt food, education, and agric. FIRS says that tax reforms exempt food, education, and agric. The Federal Inland Revenue Service has announced that the food items, agricultural products, and education services will be exempt from the new tax reforms. So according to FIRS, the reforms are aimed at widening the tax nets without worsening the hardship of ordinary Nigerians. So authorities say only luxury goods and services will be heavily taxed under the new system. All right, that's what we have on the Punch newspaper. And moving on to the last newspaper for today, The Sun. Again, we see on The Sun, court stops Pengassan and others from cutting gas supply to Dangote refinery. Court stops Pengassan, others from cutting gas supply to Dangote refinery. And next, Dangote NLC says no more negotiations, sets affiliates on red alerts. Jonathan, Ghana free to express his opinion. Ghana free to express his opinion by PDP, the People's Democratic Party, has responded to recent comments by Professor Jerry Garner, suggesting former President Goodluck Jonathan might return as the party's presidential candidate in 2027. The PDP said Ghana is free to express its views, but clarified that no official decision has been made about the party's flag bearer. So party leaders stressed that internal democratic processes will guide the choice of candidates ahead of the next election. Next, we see blame PDP if Mba defects. Ex-Enugu party chairman. Blame PDP if Mba defects. Ex-Enugu party chairman. So a former chairman of the PDP in Enugu State has warned that the party will have itself to blame if Governor Peter Mbah decides to defect. He accused the party of neglecting internal reconciliation and failing to resolve disputes that have weakened its hold on the state. So the statement adds to concerns about PDP's ability to retain key political figures ahead of the 2027 elections. And next, we see that Nigeria's economic prosperity depends on North. Nigeria's economic prosperity depends on North. Tinubu. President Bola Tinubu has declared that Nigeria's path to economic prosperity depends on the development of northern Nigeria. Speaking at the public event, Tinubu emphasized that the North holds the nation's greatest potential in agriculture, solid minerals, and human resources. He urged leaders from the region to harness these opportunities to drive inclusive growth and reduce poverty nationwide. Next, we see CVR. INEC records 6.2 million online and 1 million physical registrations. INEC records 6.2 million online and 1 million physical registrations. 2027, no automatic ticket for Jonathan in PDP. 2027, no automatic ticket for Jonathan in PDP. All right, so that's the statement made from the Good Luck Support Movement, that there's no automatic ticket for Jonathan in PDP. And here we come to the end of the newspaper reviews and analysis. Remember that if you have any comment to make on the headlines that has been read to you this morning, you can call in into the studio, and of course when the phone lines are open. But keep the line saved on your phone, 0706 048 5853 or 0915 570 8347. And remember, we are live on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel on High Voltage News. Like, comment, and share the video for others to be part of the program. So moving on what we are discussing this morning, and also your input is very much needed on this discussion. You know, over the years, the Anyoma people of Delta State have asked for one thing: recognition as their own state. At the 2025 World Igbo Day in Awka, that demand resurfaced. But what does it really mean for the Southeast, for Nigeria, and for the future of state creation? Is Nigeria ready for another state? So yesterday at the World Igbo Day celebration organized by the Ohaneze Ndigbo Worldwide, Senator Ned Nwoko of Delta North stood before the gathering and called for Anyoma to be carved out of Delta and added as the 6th state of the Southeast. So this demand is not new. It's not new at all. Anyoma leaders have long argued that their people are distinct, culturally tied to the Igbo, yet politically overshadowed inside Delta states. So for them, Anyoma state would bring fairness, recognition, and representation. But should Nigeria be talking about creating new states when so many of the existing states, the existing 36, are struggling to survive financially? Would Anyoma state actually change lives on the ground, or just create another layer of government? And at a deeper level, are more states really the solution to Nigerians' problems, or is it better governance? Is better governance the real answer? Because we have a lot of states in the country, we have lots of local governments in the country, and people are going through a lot, and then someone is out there calling for state creation from another state. And when this state is created, more local government will be added to these states. So there's a lot of things to do. So we're asking, is this really what is needed? Is there a need to create this Anyoma state, to carve it out of Delta states and add it to the southeastern states? So when we look around, Anyoma is not alone in this push. We've seen across the country, different regions have lobbied for their own states. We go to Rivers State, Orashi, they are looking for their own state. Ogoja in Cross River. In Kano State as well, we have Tiga that's looking for another state. And there are other people. So each one is rooted in the feeling that their people are not being seen or not being heard. But let's look at all this, because every new state, it comes with heavy costs. New government offices, the civil service, new budget. So Nigeria's revenue is already stretched, and can we sustain more states without sinking deeper into debts? Because we have the ones we already have, they keep borrowing. We have states keep borrowing for borrowing money just to sustain the states. And then there's a call for more creation. So that's what we are looking into today. Is there a need to create more states in the country? We have the 36 states, we have the FCT joined to it. Is there a need to create these states in the country? Because creating a state in Nigeria is not a political promise. It's constitutional. It's something that you have to be approved. It has to be approved by 2/3 of the National Assembly. Endorsement by 2/3 of the affected state assembly. And also, in most cases, strong federal support. So then the practical orders, the setting of ministries, because when you have a new state, you have to set up so many things in that new state. You have to hire workers. You have to fund the infrastructures. So who will pay for Anyoma's new capital city? Its schools, its security. Would federal allocations be enough? Or would Anyoma have to raise its own revenue? And politically, how would Delta State react to losing Anyoma? Would Southeast leaders as well all unite behind it, or would there be quiet resistance? Is this something that they've agreed? They've come together to agree. We want a new state added to the Southeast. Let's be 6 instead of just 5 states. So yes, call us in and let us know what you think about this, because for all this, they say they want identity, but there's a lot more in state creation. What do you think about the whole thing? On 0706 048 5853. And we'll be taking our first call today. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, you're welcome. Please, your name and your location.
My name is Mazin Veteran. I'm calling you from Abu in the Abufu. This is the local government area of Enugu State.
All right, you're welcome. Please go ahead.
I'm following what you are saying this morning.
Okay.
And I said, keep it on.
Thank you, sir.
The problem is not the creation of more states.
Okay.
But the problem is the one that have already declared. How allocation and what is coming from the federal government circulating all over the state that have already declared, not especially the Southeast. That's the problem.
Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you. And you too also can call in on 0706 048 5853 or 0915 570 8347. We really need to understand if there's need for all these state creations. They're calling out and wanting more states in Nigeria. What are the current ones doing already? Are they alleviating poverty? Are they helping the netizens? What are they doing for the people under the states? So if you carve out this new state, is there anything going to be different in Nigeria? Or is it still going to be the same old stories of no money and the people under the state suffering? Is there a better idea to this state creation? Hello. Okay, we missed that call. Please do well to call back on 0706 048 5853 or 0915 570 8347. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, you're welcome. Please, your name and your location.
Okay, my name is Fidelis.
Okay, where are you calling from?
Okay, I'm calling from Eminem.
All right, please go ahead.
Okay.
problem is not state creation.
Okay.
Igbo as large need more states.
Okay.
So we need that Anyoma so that our people will belong to their people.
Okay.
Because they are not divided and added to people who don't want them. So what Ned Walker is saying is the right thing.
Okay.
Forget about the worry of creating jobs and whatever. It all depends on the individual governing the state.
Okay.
The individual governing the state is selfless. You can kill the state, just like what the state commander just did some times ago. Who knows the point? But someone came there and reshuffled the place.
Okay.
And their name came to map. Someone like Peter Obi could not did in Anambra State.
Okay.
So we need that state so that if more people are the only state that have 5 states, we need to be more.
Okay.
Forget about the money. Even if Nigerians are just one, they will keep on borrowing. Even Nigeria, even just one state in Nigeria, they keep on borrowing because of the kind of government we have. So, but when we have that state, someone who is governing the state can be a man that have fear of God. They can rejuvenate the place. They can create a very good place that people can now talk about it. You understand? So that your problem is not about having more states. Because even if you have one state, you still complaining.
Okay.
Even if you have 10, but we can have states that different from other states. We can have states that different from other states. So that's it. So, but we need more states in the Igbo land, in the southeast. That's my own take on it.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in. Well, that was a good suggestion. Like it says, it's not about the state creation, it's about the leaders. So everything is dependent on the leaders or this job creation that we are after. It's the leaders that will determine the governors in these states that will determine how the welfare of the netizens are. So it's not just about that. And it says that the Igbo state, Igbo needs more states. That we are the only ones that have 5 states. So we need more added to us. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, you're welcome. Please, your name and your location.
My name is Hopman Electric. I'm calling from Yemen.
All right, please, you go ahead.
With regard to this money topic, the state will not contribute anything to the federal government.
Okay.
But in Southeast here, we need it.
Okay.
Our people need to come together and know where they are coming from. Because there are some part of those people that belong to Delta State, and Delta people are not accepting them as their brother.
Okay.
And coming to Southeast here, our state is not of the other states in Nigeria. And we need to balance things by creating more states. We need more of these states like the City State, this Anyama State, Okigwe, and all that. So, to make things balanced in Southeast, and we should be up to other people. We need this state.
Okay.
This money.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. So most of the callers are agreeing that Anyoma State is needed, that it has to be created in the southeast. It has to be part of the southeast states. All right, so you two, I want to hear your opinion. Do you think the state is needed? Do you think Anyoma State is needed or not? Do you think it's going to be a lot more expensive to manage? Call us on 0706 048 5853 or 0915 570 8347. Let's know what you think about it, because for Nigeria, this state creation can either strengthen unity or weaken it, depending on how it's handled. It can, depending on how the state creation is handled, it can either strengthen us or weaken the unity that we have in the country. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, your name and your location.
Good morning, dear presenter.
Good morning. Okay.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
My name is Engineer Apajob, calling from Ebonyi State.
All right, you're welcome. Please go ahead.
Most states where is so much needed in Southeast, as the last speaker just said.
Okay.
If you remember, in South we have 6 states, or 7. Southwest the same thing. In North Central, at the other about 6 or 7. northwest. So it's only in southeast and being marginalized. Okay. So the keeping quiet of the southeastern leaders, they are indirectly supporting that Aloma state. Okay. Otherwise, if you check, formerly we are stating for Etiti state and other states. The native Senator Moko Rosisha of that Aloma state, we keep quiet because we supported that
Anyoma, okay.
So to me, I will appreciate if they will add that state to southeastern state to make it cease. They will now seek another one. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for calling in. So for some argue that this real solution lies in not multiplying states, but in making local governments work and devolving more power from the center. So we've had reactions and more people want the state creation, but then the ones that are already existing, what do you have to say about it? Are they doing more? The local governments, are they working properly? Are they functioning? Are they united? The states in the southeast, are they united? So adding more, what is it going to do? So these are the things we also need to look into and talk about, because it's not just about adding more states to us. It's about the unity, it's about the development, it's about the work that is being put into this existing states already. So your take is important. Let us know what you think about the whole addition of states in the southeast, in Nigeria as a whole, because it's not just Anyoma that is asking for a state creation. There are other states in the country, there are other towns that want to create their own states in the country. Do you think it's necessary? Or do you think it's just something that is going to add more expenses in Nigeria? Because there's a lot of federal allocation, the states depending on the federal to do something, to send them money. If not, they cannot work on their own. So adding Anyoma state, adding other states in the country, is it going to lessen the burden on the federal government, federal level, or is it going to put more burden on them? So let us know on 0706-048-5853. And also you can leave a comment on our YouTube channel on High Voltage News. So let us know what you think about that. Send us a message on WhatsApp, on SMS, anyone that is convenient for you. Let us know your take on this particular issue. Hello, good morning. Oh, we lost our call. Please do well to call back on 0706-048-5853 or 0915-570-8347. So we are asking, should Nigeria invest energy in new states or invest their energy in strengthening the broken systems that we already have? What should Nigeria be looking after? What is the thing that they should be doing at a point like this? Is it more state creation? Is it strengthening, developing the ones that we already have? Because you go into so many communities, they've been left to just rot and nothing is happening there. No development. There's no real development in most of the communities we have in the country. So this new state creation, is it needed? Do you think we need it? Do you think it's it is important at a time like this in the country? So the call for a state creation, what's your take on it? What exactly do you think about the whole thing? Because for so many people, they do not agree to the idea of state creation. Why for some, they do agree. Because we know Igbos are few. We notice that most times during the elections and all that, we see that the Igbos, they are few, and so adding Anyoma can increase the numbers of the Igbos. It will increase the numbers of the Igbo states. It has its own benefits. But there are also things to look at. There are also things to consider before thinking of creating these states. So making it 6 states in the southeast region, what is it going to do in the economy? What is it going to do for the economy? What is it going to do for the people? Because for everyone that wants a state creation for its own, it's saying that they are not seen, they are being neglected in the state where they are, or they feel that they can stand on their own. Do you think that the number of the Anyoma people can stand on their own and work effectively in the Nigerian system? And they even think that the federal government is going to allow the state creation. That's another angle to come from. Because as much as we think or we want to deny it, the federal government has its own power. It has its own influence on all this state creation and that. So why the National Assembly can have their own power, and also that the federal government has its own influence. So do you think it's something workable in Nigeria, creating more states? Is 37, 36 plus the FCT, is it not big enough? So that's what we want to know from you this morning, because a lot of it's not something new. They've been coming out to ask for this state creation. They've been coming out to say that we need our own state. We need our own state. But the push, because it came out yesterday, I decided, okay, let's talk about it this morning. Let's talk about it. Let's see what you think. Because yesterday was the World Igbo Day. And as Senator Ned Nwoko is already identifying himself as Igbo. So they said that Anyoma is part of the Igbo state and should be treated as such. So that's why we are asking, what do you think about the whole matter? What do you think? Do you believe Anyoma deserves its own state? Or do you believe that Nigeria should just focus on the existing going on? We see the insecurities, we see the hardship going on the citizens. And the federal government is here to fix all this. The state governments, they are here to fix all this. What about the local governments? They are here to fix it. We look at the hospitals, we look at the schools. We look at the things that are going wrong in the country. So how are we sure that when this state stands on its own, it's going to be for the betterment of the citizens? It's going to be for the betterment of them, or just another political rally that let's create this state. So you that is pushing for it can be one of the top leaders in the state. So we are still taking calls on 0706 048 5853 or 0915 570 8347. Because your input is very important. We want to know your take. We want to know what you think about the whole thing, about the whole idea of state creation in Nigeria as a whole, not just Anyoma. Because in different states, you hear of one group trying to remove themselves out of the state and trying to stand on its own. But is Nigeria capable of creating another state with the rate of the economy of the country? Is this country capable of creating another state or not? So that's the thing, because state creation is never easy at all. It's not easy, it's costly, it's very complex, and most times it's controversial. So Nigeria's future does it lie in more states, or does it lie in stronger existing ones? So if Anyoma becomes Nigeria's 37th state, will it truly bring development closer to the people? Or will it simply repeat the old stories of promises unfulfilled? So will people feel that I can easily, like, things are going to work out? So since we are now, the state is going to be a new one, there will be a lot of development, things are going to start working out in this state. So is there going to be a lot of development or not in the creation of the Anyoma state? So you can also leave a comment on our YouTube channel on High Voltage News. We are reading. We want to know your take. We want to know what you think about the whole thing. So share your thoughts and let your voice count. Because when this finally comes to come out and they now agitate and it finally comes, it's still you. It's still you that is going to say, these are our brothers, these are this and that. So do you reject the idea, or do you agree to what the senator said yesterday at the event that happened yesterday? So let us know exactly how do you think that, and even when they are starting this, how do you think it's going to be possible in the country? How do you think the whole state creation is going to go about? Because it will take a lot of hearings and all that in the Senate. It will take a lot of hearings, and it's not just the southeastern people that will make the vote. So a lot of people will come together and decide, is this thing necessary in the country? Do we need it at this point? So we need to know, we need to understand, like, does he really deserve his own state? Does he deserve it? Does he deserve it with all that we are going through in the country? With all that we see? Because we from what the caller said, they believe it's a good idea for the states to join the southeastern states, because we are few. We are just 5 compared to other states in the country. And we have adding Anyama will make us the 6th state. Will make us 6 in the southeast. But is it important at a point like this? So why people are going through so many things? Should we be talking about state creation in the country, or should we focus on other things? Should we focus on other things that affect the citizens? Should we focus on security level? Should we focus on the schools? Because still in the southeast, still in other states, you go into the communities, you go into the local governments, you see what's happening in the schools, we see what is going wrong in the schools. And these are still the leaders that you're going to carve out and put into another state. So if they were not able to handle their current state, will they be able to handle these new states that they are agitating for to be created? Will they be able to handle the citizens? Will they be able to treat them very well? The welfare. We look at what the country, every now and then, there's a lot of strike going on, because they say that the government is not treating them well. The state government, the federal government is not treating them well. Their welfare are not being met. So will this solve the solution to the things that are going wrong in the country? Creation of another state. So as we close today, here's what stands clear. Here's what we need to think about. Anyoma State is more than just politics. It's about recognition. It's about history and identity. Yes, they are trying to identify with their roots. They don't believe they are part of Deltans. They don't believe they are part of the South-South. They believe they are rooted in the Southeast, and they are trying to identify with the Southeast. So it's more of recognizing themselves, knowing who they are, and deciding that we are done with this. Let's come out and join our brothers and our sisters. But we all know how expensive it is. We all know how expensive this state creation is in Nigeria. But we all hope that when this eventually happens, it brings development to the country. It brings development to the states, and not just clamoring for one, but it does something. So thank you for being part of this hour. Thank you for being part of High Voltage. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel on High Voltage News. Join us again tomorrow on Volt 104.3 FM by 9 a.m. for more headlines, more analysis, and more of your voices. And until then, keep your voltage high. This is High Voltage, and my name is Odile.